Ha! Got it running. iPad got sticky, That is sticky. So anyway, you're very welcome for the all that information and documents and stuff. And well, I just found some by pure chance came across those websites that had all those uploaded documents and stuff. So I sent you, I think, 200 or 300 documents for the book and other information to give you a better picture of what happened in my adventures. I also found my, at the same time, found my Internet Movie Database profile with some of the videos listed, but there's about 300 videos that I have, and some of them show levitation and metals falling apart and that kind of thing, and some other crazy stuff too. So I hope that helps. Also, Bob Greener of Martin Fleischer Memorial Project's working on a book called Mr. Possible. So I'm going to send him that. I think I sent him some things. And I don't know if he's going to write it or not. I don't know. But I know you're very eager to get going on your book. So tonight I'll send you more stuff I found. I found the Alex Pizarro metal sample, aluminium. I'm going to hold this iPad in the proper way here. It's got his fingerprints in this stuff. That I was reluctant to sell, but it went for sale on eBay. Let me see if I don't stay there like that. Very reluctant. It had his look like fingerprints in it too, so I'm not disclosing who bought it because I keep my clients rather private. They don't want to be bothered by people looking for things and other stuff, But anyway, there's some other metal samples. I don't know who took the photos, but I found those too. I found some of the German stuff, the Japanese stuff, some of the Austrian stuff. I mean, and that was uploaded a long time ago by Vlad and others. And there's Duke Fullenstein of NASA, who wanted to work with me and get his. I don't know if he ever showed up. I sent you the letters that he sent me. That was a long time ago, for Pete's sake. Because these TV shows would air all over the place, and I got this influx of emails at my old email account. HEffect at Infinet.net, a dial-up service. For some reason, I found that all those things were uploaded to other websites. So the TV show with Rob Simone is called Somewhere Out There. It was made by Paul Stavakowski, filmmaker, and his crew. 2007, I believe. And that has not aired yet on Discovery. I don't know why, but it hasn't. It's got 3 parts to it. It's got myself and another gentleman. Let's see. Can't remember his name. He was into UFO research. Then there was a gentleman that collected Tesla artifacts in Florida, I believe, and they visited him and filmed the artifacts and that. And also I got to see artifacts in Vancouver from Thomas Lee Richardson, who had a house full of papers and furniture of Tesla's, and also in LA for the Fox TV show thing I did. There's a gentleman, Mike Trigi or something like that, of X-Files. We worked together and used his studio for props and stuff. JD's movie props or something like that. Santa Monica. I filmed the whole place, by the way. It was me. I filmed him, interviewed him as well, and some of it's uploaded on the internet, by the way. That's JD's props shop. He's long passed away, but he had an amazing collection of stuff that I got to privilege to film it. I was used in also the Fox TV story, Exploring the Unknown, with Fox Mulder's boss. That was interesting. I filmed a lot of stuff in LA, and it's in high definition, by the way. As I said, I put a lot of these things in a VCR, film it off a black and white TV because I don't have a proper color flat screen. It's just, I'm not aggressive to grab all that stuff. If somebody offers it, fine. Although Peter Von Pupkammer was my agent for footage sales. And it is all uploaded on the hard drive, but someday it'll get uploaded, perhaps. There's metal blocks falling apart and melting and turning gooey, and a pair of scissors exploding, and all kinds of crazy crap. But, nobody ever says, well, let's get it. I'll pay you blah, blah, blah to get it out and do something with it. But no, nothing like that happens. So anyway, that's just one of those things. Yeah, so I'll send you more papers, documents, and possible links. I don't know. I tried to get a copy of the Canadian government's videos and films, but it was a matter of national security. I got all those letters. And let's see, Los Alamos claims they routinely destroy videos. The Japanese stuff I have lots of that because there was a duplicate lab set up in Hiroshima City and things were happening there. It was Mr. Hino of JOGM TV in Hiroshima that filmed the whole thing too, along with some of my demonstrations. So I have those videos as well. Some of them pieces only are uploaded on the internet, on YouTube somewhere. A lot of stuff I just keep finding if I go look for, see what mischief I've been up to, and I find all this stuff others have done over years. Yes, I know Prince Hans Adam Liechtenstein. We started communicating 1989 to present. Also, I met in person Prince Alfred von Liechtenstein, who was a friend of Ken Shoulders and Henry Dakin, and they hung out together for a week or so. And I found some more Ken Shoulders stuff too. He was one of my very strong supporters in regards to what I was doing a long time ago when the galaxy was young. So like that. Pictures of Dr. Rauscher, Elizabeth Ann Rauscher, who stayed with us in Oregon for a month. It just goes on and on. So, I'm trying to figure out. I know you're going to do a good job on the book, so okay, keep sending us stuff. I'm sure Bob will do the same. He keeps talking about it, but doesn't do it. But anyway, he will sometime anyway. Oh, I have other interests, yes, of course. Vintage warships in the 40s, okay, up to 60s. And a chance to work on 4 of them for 5 years or over 5 years, and a lot of fun. I got free, everything was free for me. I didn't need the money. I was already under contract to build power cells, and I did. That's $250,000. And of course, it went for me buying things all the time. I'm always buying things. Oh. Recently, I found an eBay seller who's 2 of them who's giving stuff to me. I just pay for shipping. No names. I don't want competition in my areas. Maybe somebody out there who's interested in the same stuff. I don't know. Mostly, not too many people are these days. They're more into the modern stuff. But some of these idiots put high prices on things. It never sells. I think they're going to get $1 million because it's old. It's just total old because they're just greedy assholes. Assholes. Greedy. So, the best venue I can think of is Facebook for uploading all this stuff. Because you make an album. Oh, okay. I can upload videos and pictures, like hundreds of them. Other than that, I know no other way. I tried Clips, but that doesn't work on my iPad anymore. But and it's hard to see it anyway as well. And Blogger, nobody even looks at Blogger. But I have a massive blog of 1,000 posts of information that I wish somebody would hack into it and use it. I forgot the password. You know, the password. I don't know. The internet is, to me, is kind of like, huh? I guess that's why I like vintage computers in the 40s. Analog computers. I got a few off of warships, of course. Today, sitting out in the sun a little bit, getting toasted. And, oh, speaking of, we're going to make a trip to the scrapyard maybe next week. Maybe. There's some electrical machines, vintage, sitting there that I haven't bothered getting yet. But I've been there a number of times getting other things. We need the exploration of rotating magnetic fields with a high tension electrostatic field kind of thing we're doing. Or I'm doing it. And yeah, so slowly coming along. I got high voltage, but not as dramatic as I used to have. Like 400,000 volts DC and AC from those big transformers, but they're hard to come by. Maybe I got lucky. About at least 60,000 and 100,000 volts, DC and AC. Anyway, I should write down all your questions because I don't know how to, I used to get stuff printed out for Pete's sake, or one of my girlfriends did, and that's why I got all those papers. But I don't know how to do that stuff. I guess I go to a store or something and they could do it. It was in New Westminster, Canada. What was it called? I forget. Something print shop. I think I actually send the emails. They would print them out and make copies. I wonder how those guys are doing. I have another friend's Nigel Paul P&J Metals in Surrey, British Columbia. That's where we tested the Ark of the Covenant in their metal workshop. Nigel, good friends. I wonder how they're doing too. Or Tom Brent. I wonder how you're doing. That's where I got a lot of radio equipment from too. Clifford Jan, Dan Jan, Bill McDonald, Stan Regic, friend of Thomas Lee Richardson, who had Tesla stuff, as well as he was a longshoreman, the other fellow. Skipping around like a lunatic anyway. Who else? Because Stan would drive Thomas around all over the place. He lived in the general vicinity, and he got Tom and sent him to my place, who commented, this looks like where I was a long time ago with Tesla. So, okay. Thomas Lee Richardson has published books and made medallions of Tesla. The other fellow is Lawrence St. Ives, who I actually sent you his phone number. He contacted me a long time ago, '83. But all these things can be searched out and investigated if anybody's interested in doing so. got rows and names and phone numbers. All this stuff's going to be helpful to somebody who's doing some research and some young fellow by the name of Charles Crawford III, young fellow into science, deserves a lot of information. So hopefully these books will supply the next generation of great information. I'm sure yours will, as well as Bob Greener's. I can't be bothered writing anything. I just find it too boring. I kind of go on a writing spree through emails, I suppose, but I don't know. Just so lazy I am sometimes. No, I don't keep notes. No. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an inventor. I just explore stuff and listen to people and learn things. I learned a lot from Uncle Bob Greener. I read lots of books over the years and other scientists. Why they gravitate to me, I don't know, because I'm just, look at me. No notes, no publications, just a pile of vintage junk. Working and doing weird things. Okay, so 97 was in 97. It was Star Trek hosted one of our conferences with Ken Shoulders, Dr. Rocher, myself, Linda McLean, girlfriend of Herman Zimmerman, set designer for Star Trek. I guess some Star Trek. Hosted us along with some others in Star Trek at Paramount Motion Picture Studio. We were guests there, and I got pictures of us. And Quark's Bar. Pictures of us in Quark's Bar, yeah, I sent you that one too. Myself, Herman Zimmerman, Linda McLean, Gene Manning, Yuri from Russia, Gene Manning, myself, Ian Gasta, filmmaker. He gave us a super tour, and he allowed me to take a few pictures, which you'll see. Another adventure I had was with Stargate SG-1 with Laura. I was a guest on their set in Vancouver, Burnaby. I sent you pictures of that one too. But anyway, back to what I was doing there. So NASA was involved in the 97 conference hosted by Star Trek, and they are showing the Mars rover and what it really looks like all apart and putting it together. They had to get radiation hard chips. They couldn't give me the pictures, but they gave me the newsletter from NASA. So I got a picture of the guy too. And Henry Dakin sponsored that, and others sponsored it. Ian filmed it too, but I don't know whatever happened to those videos. But it was fun. Dr. Rocher was a guest with Larry King, who was a CNN reporter, and was asked certain questions. Anyway, so a lot of fun. I have fun. At least I think I do. Yeah, my blue tongue is methylene blue. The new thing in regards to life extension, the practical scientific approach. But I worked on a patient today, a signal generator from the 50s, for the Navy. Quite a nice piece of gear, and it works fine now. So I'll be getting another load of stuff in here too. I was kind of getting around to build my substation like I did in Vancouver. I call it substation because it looks like a substation with transformers and resistors and variacs and insulators, capacitors and all that. I know how to do it in a corona ring, so as you've seen in some of the early videos, you may want to search out George Jack Houck, who visited me. He's from McDonnell Douglas Aerospace. Filmed for 2 days, put together a report. It's on my SlideShare, check it out. He was a very nice fellow, and we got along fine. we went out for dinner with Ian. Oh, wow, when was that? Oh, because he filmed in '86, and then I met Ian around the same time, or was it '85? Anyway, '85. Vancouver Report, it's called. And then Ian knew Jack Houck, and we went out for dinner. This had to have been in '89 or '90, because I was living in Germany, and we traveled back and forth to LA. Oh well, that's that's something Ken would say. Oh well, but I know I'm kind of wallowing in the past, but it's okay. I use it as a benchmark at least. I'm married to a very fine lady, and we're having fun. And we're gonna have fun here. There was a film crew that was gonna come up here, but they didn't really have anything to offer, or they're kind of sketchy. It's not like one of the main production companies I worked with, but they said they filmed stuff with their phone. Okay, that sounds pretty phony to me. I think they filmed Nick Cook of Jane's Defense Weekly. He's a friend of mine. I don't know who else they filmed, if anybody. But my other friends declined to be interviewed by them as well. Do it right. Come on, guys. Jeez. Offered 7,000, sure. What a laugh that is. Oh yeah, we just got to send you a check. No, no, no. It's like, oh, the check bounce. It's just one of those things. Usually TV people give me 1,000. It's all legit, like NBC or CNN or one of the Discovery or whatever. I mean, biggest amount of money I got from TV stuff was the Ark of the Covenant revealed through Blue Book Films. Huge amounts of money. It's fun. It's 6 months in production and aired on Discovery Channel. I don't know if that's in my Internet Movie Database thing. Well, I'll have to look later. I'm sure bragging, aren't I? Little Johnny Cupcakes bragging his head off, talking about the past. Sometimes I talk about the future, but what the hell? What the hell is that going to turn into? What do you think? An Armageddon or what? I don't know. That's just nutty politicians. Psychopaths with ties and briefcases running the world. Wow. Yeah, kind of like that. My opinion, but I think they are. You get an ex-president being indicted, arrested. The Donald. He's just a showman, actually, all he is. It's crooked as hell. The other character's crooked as hell and is a whining asshole. I don't know any. I think Reagan was okay. In Canada, you got the wimpy, psychopathic Trudeau, son of Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who was a lunatic and psychopath. But I got along with Joe Clark. I got letters from him. He was prime minister for a time. So much history. I'm gonna fall asleep talking about myself. Oh boy. Ugh. Should talk to EVO, that little doggy. Little Aussie, mini Aussie. He's kind of got more brains than all of the politicians put together. He's a very smart little cookie. He jumped up on me on my shoulders, looked out the window. That's how he gets to look out the window. If Mummy's in or out. Mummy had to go shopping, so. Yeah, how long have I been yakking for here? There's going to be another long, boring, stupid, ridiculous, useless nonsense. Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's useful for you and what I'm sending you. I hope. Now, there's been a lot of brief mentions of me in the many books. There's one book written in Japanese which I've never had translated. It's very thick. Tama Publishing. Shows a heck of. Oh, how noisy are you? Shows a lot of stuff. Got a lot of my stuff was tested and analyzed in Japan. I sure met a lot of people there. Holy moly. Like, serious people, actually. Well, I met serious people in other countries anyway. USA, Canada. Anyway. No blue tongue today. Not yet, anyway. I was working on a few things I mentioned before. I went and sat in the sun and I felt like, I better check the time. Get enough energy to make this video. It's the sun. I'm with the sun and wind. It's like taking a handful of Xanax. Why am I like this? Well, because I was born with agoraphobia. I think one reason. And psychoneurotic phobic react, psychoneurotic anxiety react kept me out of the main loop, thank God, of humanity since I was born. Fear of open spaces. Let's see, so they didn't really know what it was, so they decided I never went to school, by the way. Thank God. I always run away. Kindergarten, I just go home. They gave up, and in time they sent me off to Riverview. That's where I mentioned my West Lawn stay at West Lawn Building. Or Crease Clinic, where the X-Files and all those TV shows like Fringe were filmed and all that. I was put on there on an adult basis to do whatever I want until we found some information that helped get rid of those fears or phobias. Was simple. They brought in a specialist from Europe. All I had to do was relaxation exercises. That was it. So I was giving demonstrations of the Hutchison effect to nurses and doctors and things, laying on a bed on A2 ward, West Lawn Building. Check it out, look it up. On a bed, tensing up. Unpleasant, then relaxing, pleasant. And at the same time, you visualize the open space parts. I mentioned yesterday I had a gun collection and a radio collection there, and the psychiatrist doctor said, if you ever get sick of this place, let me know. Dr. Slichter, Dr. Alice Kramer, others like that for your reference. Let me know. I sent right up the release forms, and I one day got bored and told him that, and then he wrote up the release forms, got $20. My dad picked up the rifles. I kept one pistol, and picked up the radio gear and put it in home, 3045 Crescent View Drive, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Edgemont Village area. That's where that was, and I got an offer to stay in Skid Row to the Drexel Rooms, 5 East Hastings Street. Check it out. By Roy Sharfel. Because my plan was to stay, get welfare, which I did do. It was very helpful. You should get this kind of welfare. You get a lot of money. Okay, I did. Stayed in the Drexel Rooms. I mentioned before, bought a rifle. I'm always buying stuff like I mentioned before. Anyway, I bought a rifle. Stayed 2 weeks. Meantime, I was looking at the North Shore News newspaper for a room or place to live in North Vancouver. Found one. 1458 East 29th Street, Lynn Valley, North Vancouver, Mrs. Murphy's. So I phoned them. I'm on welfare. I can give you a check. We'll take that, said Mrs. Murphy. No problem. Come on over and check it out. So I got a blacktop cab. Took my 303 Enfield rifle and a small bunch of things. I left Skid Row. It's pretty bad now. It's a murder zone right in the same area. But anyway, I left. Huh. Went there and presented myself, and they said you don't have to pay rent, just help out with the house, take care of plumbing issues, electrical issues, and other issues, which I did too. That's where I discovered that my vintage Hutchison, or the Hutchison effect, if you want to call it that, but it's always into vintage. Anyway, that built up to a massive situation, and that went on and took the movers. I think it was a week or so to move the stuff I collected there. Wow. Even my lawyer, R. Flynn Marr, had to get involved to make the movers do their thing, move the stuff over to Burnaby. That's was getting prepared for the U.S. government tests. Forgot to mention, in the 70s, living in Lynn Valley, I got to take apart a 19mm M1, M2 anti-aircraft cannon that also killed somebody trying to take it apart. And I often wonder where that cannon went to. I go to work, leave Lynn Valley, go to 103 Thunderbird Squadron Place, who sold their cannon to Amex Salvage for a mere $200 to raise money. This is in the 70s. Truly unbelievable. It was the Armory place. J.P. Fell Armory in North Vancouver. That's where I go working all day, and I get a taxi to pick me up with all my junk from the cannon around 5. I got a third of the whole cannon, but that's being stupid. I should have gotten somebody to haul it all the way back to Mrs. Murphy and put it in the garage. But as time passed, that cannon vanished. Somebody stole it, and it's sort of a story of the gun collectors up there in Canada. John and his 90mm anti-aircraft cannon and his 50 caliber Browning machine guns. Because of the target of Daddy Trudeau, 1978. They collected machine guns, all kinds of guns. Daddy Trudeau passed the law, and 13 of us were victims of that law, and the RCMP came down. This is going to be a long-winded bloody thing. I hear you, Mr. EVO. What is that? Anyway, they confiscated the gun collection. Promised to appear at the trials by Magistrate Judge Cronin, who ruled in my favor to order everything returned to me, which they did do. They called it entrapment against Mr. Hutchison, and my lawyer was R. Flynn Marr, by the way, who's a gun collector, and my other lawyer was Machine Gun Martinoff, or Michael Martinoff, who carried an AR-15 around so that he could be charged with something and he could take him to court, which he did do. He made a lot of news doing that, too. Plus, I informed all the media, all the gun collectors of Canada, and they were very supportive, did the stories, did the newspapers, did TV shows, did interviews, defense fund, and everything else. After that, I got the provincial ombudsman and his group to go after the RCMP and sue them. But it's getting a long-winded story and goes on and on to ad nausea. Where are you ever say that one? I don't know. I better get going anyway. Boy, I sure talk a lot. Maybe I should have been a radio host, huh? Welcome to John Hutchison's radio show, the big one, the Power Hour. Broadcasting live at 1780 on the AM dial. It's way off course, of course. I should have been 1580. No, it's 1410. CFUN. Broadcasting live to you and around the world. Call in. Callers, call 1-604-524-4875, extension number 2. Get to talk with the host, John Hutchison. Hey! Actually, I've done those things. I have done guest DJ things during Expo 86. That's another chapter in my life, where I demonstrated things at Expo 86 in the stadium, the Dome, Canada BC Place Stadium. It was on TV as well. I did, they wanted me to do the say the announcements, and I did on radio. CKNW got it within 1 minute, perfect. Yeah, that was fun, man. And the psychic fair it was called. And when I fired off my equipment, it interrupted the psychic readings, but they would announce it and spread it out to 1 hour for like 15 seconds or something. With sparks shooting all across. That was for a week art, and it's on TV somewhere. I'm sure that'll be uploaded someday. I don't know, but I should get going. I'm going on and on like a lunatic. All right, Mr. EBO. I better take a Xanax or a quarter of one. So anyway, that's agoraphobia. The other direct opposite of that is claustrophobia. So I have the direct opposite of claustrophobia, which left me in a unique situation, which is okay with me, and I don't mind it. I don't want to join into being a husband and look after kids and all this. I'm a kid sitter and animal sitter around the world. I've done that many times. No problem, but I didn't want to join the rat race. Believe it or not, I learned how to use a credit card a few years ago. Still need help with it. Fun. Anyway, said enough. I gotta get going for Pete's sake. How long is this? Oh my God, 36 minutes. Torturing the poor people watching this crap of mine. Anyway. So after dinner, I'll send you the other documents. Sounds like a CIA operation going on here. I'll send you the secret documents. Whoops. I explained all that yesterday, didn't I? I sure did, didn't I? I don't like being a man, and I don't like being a woman. What I see of men, alpha men, they're always killing each other and acting crazy, and that's a long story. I'm getting caught back into free association. That's what was taught to me a long time ago. The free associate what bothers me kind of thing, and anxiety, agoraphobia, or psychoanalysis. And I study psychology today. John, shut the hell up. I better shut up before I get up and beat myself up. Okay, so it was 4 o'clock. Now it's about 4:45. Time to get vitamins, minerals. Time to make smokes. Have dinner and go into the archives. See what other crazy documents I have and statements and things. It's amazing what you find. Search out my name and I don't know. It's just crazy. Somebody's been dumping a lot of stuff on the internet because I found one time only, and I can't find it again. Me. About 1970 going to the welfare office. It's a video that appeared on YouTube. They interviewed me. Yeah, I'm staying at the Drexel Rooms, 5 East Hastings Street. And I'm getting a special pension or something like that, and I was in a lineup. My mind flashed back to Germany when the wall came down. I was in a lineup to the federal building, but for an extension on my stay. Interesting though. And I had a gun collection I had to bring back to Canada. I think I already mentioned that, so. Which I did. Everything worked out fine. I still got some of the guns, so. Anyway, I'm going to shut up before I go bonkers. Do some poses where I can do a screenshot of myself and post it on Funbook. So this realm here is mostly things I acquired, restored, and got running again. And just in one area. These cargo containers contain an armory and a full machine shop. And in the other room is whole Hudson effect apparatus coming all back together again, and it'll be running full bore. So probably winter time, late winter, and then I'm gonna inform certain people to come and view it. I want it to be replicatable. You know, if you don't want somebody showing up with a sample or something that doesn't work, I mean, that's kind of like fraud or how do you call, what else do you call it? Just a mess. Somebody pays for the plane fare all the way here or travel expenses and nothing works. I mean, that's pretty stupid. Poor George Hathaway might come, I don't know. Or even Uncle Bob. Or plus other people I know that in the military that might come. But they bring their own samples. I'll see if I can move them or bend them. That's pretty far out there, isn't it? Can I do it? I don't know. I got my doubts, but I'm going to give it a shot for the hell of it. Because other things can be done with it. Time dilation and other dimensional physics stuff to explore. So I better shut up. I'm going on like a bloody crazy person. All right. Gonna go. Oh, see, they're dying to say something, aren't I? Just like a real crazy person. So let me just look hot for a while. On my little skirt. Actually, this is a good filter. It gets rid of a lot of people I don't want to even bother talking to. That's a good thing. I get comments like, "Oh, what happened to John? The government got me," or they use MK Ultra. These are just ignorant people that I don't want to be bothered even seeing. So it's a good filter. It just gets rid of them before I can bother with them. So it's just John acting his own thing out, trying to be a comedian, but failed that too, I presume. Oh, I was a Riverview DJ, by the way. Closed circuit radio station. At least there was about 6,000 people. I just had fun with those old records. You line out with your hand, you do announcements as they present them to you, except one time I played one that they didn't like at all. They're coming to take me away, haha. That they said, no, oops. If I didn't get fired, I said, never, ever play it. Okay, so I didn't. But I guess I should go. Blue tongue and all. Try to get a good. These things disturb me. These bags. I want to get rid of them somehow. So I am trying needling, roller derming. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up.